Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soma Vitality Wellness. Now, in today's video, I am going to discuss about what are the next steps you can take when you've been diagnosed with PCOS. So, we get a lot of clients that they have been recently diagnosed with PCOS and they don't know what to do next. So, as we know, PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome is a hormonal related condition that can affect your cycle as well as can cause infertility if not treated properly. Now, PCOS can eventually develop and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes as well. So, as it is a syndrome, there is a collection of symptoms that are specific to the patient. PCOS diagnosis is different for everyone, and here I will be explaining the steps you can take after you are being diagnosed with PCOS. The 8 things you can focus on once you receive the PCOS diagnosis. So, the first thing, the main thing to understand is understanding the root cause of your PCOS. Now, it's important to understand what picture of PCOS you have. So, to receive a PCOS diagnosis, you must have had two out of these three things that have come positive. Now, what are they? First, it could be that you could have elevated androgens, which is your testosterone and your DHEA. Now, testosterone can be elevated because of insulin resistance. This is because when you have high blood insulin, it signals the ovaries to produce more testosterone. Now, another thing could be that your could be elevated due to stress and inflammation. Now, DHEA is an enzyme that combines with testosterone, and high levels of DHEA can cause acne and hair loss. Second thing that could have come positive in your PCOS diagnosis is having polycystic ovaries on the ultrasound. Now, these are small cysts due to the follicles trying to produce an egg. So, they are different from the ovarian cyst. Third thing that could have come positive is irregular periods. Now, irregular periods can be due to either lack of ovulation or delay in ovulation. Stress, high testosterone levels that all affect our ovulation. So, understanding what are the picture you get, what are the two things in your case that has come positive when you've been diagnosed with PCOS is really important. Second thing to remember is once you've been diagnosed with PCOS is balancing your blood sugar. Now, of those with PCOS diagnosis, statistically 70% have insulin resistance. So your blood sugar could be driving your androgen levels higher as well. Insulin resistance occurs when your cell, the lock, it rejects the insulin, which is the key from inserting the glucose into the cell to produce energy. When this happens, you have an increased blood glucose as well as blood insulin. So, because all hormones work together, when there is too much insulin in the blood, this can signal the ovaries to produce more testosterone. Now, in addition, since this sugar cannot be used for energy, it gets converted to fat for storage. So, that could be one of the reasons for your obesity when you have been diagnosed with PCOS. So, really important is balancing your blood sugar by eating consistent meals, eating carbohydrates with healthy fats and proteins, now reducing simple carbs and increasing complex carbohydrates. It's possible to have PCOS diagnosis on a lean body as well and not to have the weight struggles and not experiencing insulin resistance. Now, there is not a one size fit all approach for nutrition for PCOS. So, you have to understand what is your picture of PCOS. And in these cases, when you don't have the insulin resistance, you may not to need to reduce too much carbohydrates as much as those with the people with insulin resistance. So understanding that is a key. Third thing to focus on is balanced meals and not restrictive dieting. Now, restrictive dieting have a start date and an end date, and you cannot continue for a long time. Then you get in this cycle of overeating once it stops. So, unfortunately, this results in the dangerous cycle of restrictive during the diet and overeating when the diet is over, causing what we call it a weight cycling. Now, what is more beneficial for PCOS once you are diagnosed is adapt a more balanced meals for a long term. Now, some people think ketogenic diets are beneficial for PCOS. Again, you if you want to go on a ketogenic diet, it's really important that you work with a practitioner because you need to have adequate fiber, plant foods, and antioxidants on a ketogenic diet because lack of adequate plant foods and fiber, which are important for gut health and estrogen metabolism and antioxidants you need in your diets to support liver detoxification. Now, there's no very big evidence to those with PCOS diagnosis should be prescribed a gluten-free or dairy-free diet. Though you may consider removing them if it makes you feel, better internally. Now, gluten and dairy are highly inflammatory foods and can aggravate the inflammation in the body after your PCOS diagnosis. So understanding that, and now these increased inflammation can again cause gut issues, high stress, and discomfort. So understanding is that about again what I said is getting the picture of your PCOS is really important, and is your PCOS is driven by high inflammation. Understanding that is important once you've been diagnosed with PCOS. Fourth thing to remember is managing your stress is really important. Stress has a large effect on hormone balance and can shift your sex hormones either too high or too low. Now, studies have found that stress can increase the secretion of androgens from the adrenal gland. So again, reducing stress is important. Now, specifically important, this is if your DHEA is elevated because this indicates that a root cause of your PCOS is stress related. So again, understanding is your PCOS is due to high stress is really important once you've been diagnosed. Fifth thing that you can think of is reducing the inflammation from the body. Now again, as mentioned before, that inflammation can cause further damage for those with PCOS diagnosis. So if you are experiencing digestive issues like IBS and unexplained fatigue, headaches, joint pain, skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis or food sensitivities, these are all signs of inflammation in the body. You can test a marker, go to your GP and get it tested for C reactive protein to check the level of general inflammation in your body once you've been diagnosed with PCOS. Now, how can you reduce inflammation is by balancing blood sugar, managing the stress. Uh, Hydration is a key factor as well. Turmeric, consuming the colorful vegetables in your diet, these all affect the inflammation and reduce inflammation. Sixth thing you can do once you've been diagnosed with PCOS is exercising mindfully. Now, if you are experiencing weight gain because of PCOS, then you have to understand that too much high intensity exercise may further stress your adrenal glands. And when your cortisol and DHEA are dysregulated in the body, it's important to avoid high intensity exercise. Now, cortisol imbalance can make weight loss more difficult. So, opt out for more moderate, low intensity workout. Now, moderate and low intensity exercise like strength training, yoga, Pilates, hiking, walking, biking, these are all helpful exercises. If you're doing high intensity exercise, then stick to around maybe 15-20 minutes of it twice a week and not more than that. Now, prioritizing sleep is the seventh important factor, is important once you are diagnosed with PCOS. Sleep deprivation can cause cortisol levels to increase during the day. Now, many women with PCOS are found to have increased sleep disturbance because naturally they are more sensitive to stress. And cortisol levels are also higher in women with PCOS diagnosed than those are which are not who are not diagnosed. So again, understanding that prioritizing sleep is really important. Now lastly, and the eighth point I'm going to discuss is supplement appropriately. While there's a lot of different supplements for hormonal imbalance, for PCOS and balancing your PCOS, it's important to only take that are necessary for your body. Now, supplements to consider for PCOS are spearmint, turmeric, zinc, inositol, white peony, Vitex, nettle, reishi. These all are given when you have a PCOS. But understanding what is the best for in your particular case is really important and what will help. And because you don't want to overload your body with supplements as well, it will suppress your liver functioning and detoxification. So working with a practitioner is really important when deciding which supplement to take and which is best for your PCOS. Now, as we know, there is no cure for PCOS, but there are nutrition and lifestyle strategies that you can have to help reverse and manage your symptoms of PCOS. So, what is the takeaway message from today's video? That once you have been diagnosed with PCOS, go and have a work with the practitioner, understand what is the picture of your particular PCOS is important. Now there are several nutrition and lifestyle shifts you can make to support your body if you have just received a PCOS diagnosis. But if you're looking to understand the root cause of your PCOS, then don't forget to give us a 30 minutes call. Book a 30 minutes call with us, free call, where we can discuss with you the root cause of your PCOS and help you strategize your your structure, what you can do and what you cannot do. So make sure you book a free 30 minutes call. Either the link will be either at the top of the video or will be in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.